And it's gonna be more than a silent night. I wanna be wrapped up in your love this Christmas. This Christmas. I wanna be wrapped up in your love this Christmas. This Christmas. We already know what time of year it is. It's the season of love, I'ma give you so much. It ain't coming down your chimney, no. It'll be right here in between the sheets. Oh, the fireplace is lit.
Somebody give you all this passion, and tonight my love making's everlasting. Oh, we about to have the greatest sex. Yeah. Release how you feel till there is none left. Oh, that's called bedroom precipitation. Just make it rain, girl. Soaking wet for me.
Girl, it's soaking wet in this bed for real. And rain.
Peace and love, peace and love. Just dropped the kids off at school. And man, had a pretty interesting weekend. Not so much for me being active as much as it was the things going on this weekend. So for starters, let's see, Friday. Really nothing. Both my daughters went to basketball game. Well, no, one of my daughters went to the basketball game. Saturday, I don't even know why I mentioned that. That didn't even really matter. But Saturday was the day. Alabama football is the team that I follow. Or I guess one of the teams that I follow, rather, let me correct that. One of the teams that I follow. And so Alabama did not play this weekend, but we were hoping for a couple scenarios to play out to try to earn a spot in the college football playoffs. But didn't work out. It was all good because my other team won in dang near blowout fashion. Jackson State won the SWAC championship, and so super excited about that. They going on to the Celebration Bowl to play North Carolina Central. So that's gonna be a good game. But and I don't even want to make the whole video about this, or but I just gotta mention it to really fill you in on what my thoughts have been. So I've been supporting Jackson State since Dion has been there. I was familiar with Jackson State prior to Dion, going back to when BET used to show college football, HBCU football on Saturdays. There was a time where BET actually aired the games when I was growing up. So I was familiar already with Jackson State before Dion got there. But, being a Dion fan, once Dion got there, well, that first season, there definitely was nothing televised, due to it being like a COVID season. But those second and third seasons, you at least could catch the games online. Excuse me. Got some water back there, man. So began, you know, after they won, it was already rumors and stuff floating around that, well, let me back on. And Coach Prime's first season at Jackson State, they were 4-3, won 4 games, lost 3 games. That was the COVID season, right? And his first season there, you know, you don't have much access, you don't have all the players you would like to have. Blase. His second season there, they went 11-2. And they wanted to come back this season and cap off, you know, certain victories that they didn't pull off last year in the 2-loss season. And so this season, they managed to pull off a 12-0 season, and they still got the bowl game to go, right? So you went from 4-3, 3 losses, to 11-2, just 2 losses, to now 12-0. So let's keep that in mind as we move forward in this, what I want to talk about today. So on Saturday, during the game, really that whole morning, there were, you know, the rumors were starting to come out. Coach Deion is, you know, headed to Colorado after this game, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, in my mind, I'm kind of trying to figure out my own, you know, analysis of, you know, well, you know, I think he's going to stay at least one more season at Jackson State. And, you know, I said that was my opinion, you know. I think he'll probably stay at least one more year, you know, and just, you know, that was only an opinion, right? So the rumors are coming out, and then, you know, after the game, that's when it really kind of got on out there, that the you know, the stories start getting out there, and, you know, he sat the team down and, you know, had the conversation to let them know that he was leaving. And, you know, I follow Deion. I follow Deion Sanders Jr. I follow Shador. I follow Shiloh. I follow pretty much the whole family. So, you know, you see all the posts, and you see, you know, you see the stories, and you see some, you know, them traveling after the game to Colorado to see the facilities, and, you know, get to just take it all in. And so I'm watching just with joy and just excitement, seeing it unfold. And as I'm seeing social media, I began to read all of the posts and comments saying that, you know, all that cap, you know, like he lied, and Deion ain't real, and, you know, all these types of comments, and you know, I strongly believe everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but, you know, I don't understand personally how we ever plan on accomplishing or having anything if we can't allow our people to have anything. And you know, I even heard some people say, like, Deion already got money. What do you need that money for? Like, you know, well, I don't know what world y'all living in, but money or some form of legal tender is essential to survival, you know. Without it, I think that you'll find out just how valuable it is. And I'm not saying the dollar is valuable. I'm saying money, the legal tender, what you exchange for goods and services, whatever that may be. If you don't have it, then you won't have anything. You won't have food, you won't have water, you won't have shelter. The essentials that you need, they all have a cost, at least in the world that we currently live in. So, you know, for the people who said, hey, you're entitled to that opinion, but the people who said he already has money, you know, then he shouldn't need that. He shouldn't need that. And I'm getting all of this out because I want to say something in regards to this, but I want to kind of put a lot of the things on the table that I saw and heard this weekend. You know, for those people who feel like he already has money, if he no longer plays the sport, yes, he has endorsements and things like that, but if he no longer plays the sport, then how will he continue to make money? Right? You say through endorsements. Well, if you really know Deion Sanders, if you've ever heard him speak, if you know how he thinks and how he moves, you'll know that he said that, you know, he wouldn't spend his game checks or his salaries. He would never spend those. He would only spend endorsement money. So, you know, he has, I believe, at least 5 children. You know, and I don't know why we are angry if he wants to increase his wealth, you know, given that he has 5 children. Maybe he knows something regarding his own health that he's trying to set them up for success. You know, why do y'all feel like there should be a cap? Why do you feel like you should be able to determine how much is enough money for him? You don't know what his plans and his goals are. And furthermore, at Jackson State, his salary was $300,000 this season. $300,000, of which he gave up 50% to ensure that Jackson State had a new facilities, you know, weight room, locker room with the TVs. You know, that was his personal salary that he sacrificed to make sure they had that, right? Now, going from $300K, which really he only got half of that, so $150K to $5 million, right? Who's to say now, because y'all done already jumped the gun and said he was a coon and all kind of stuff. Who's to say that with this $5 million, he doesn't intend to donate half of his salary to the SWAC or to Jackson State to ensure that they're able to continue building what he started there? How do we know that, right? When we've all attacked him already and called him all types of names for making this decision when we don't live in his family. We don't know what their situation is. We don't know how much debt he may have gained while playing in the NFL. We don't know his personals, and we don't know what his intentions are. We don't know what he plans on doing with this opportunity. And, you know, the way that I've seen our people attack him is like, this is why our people are in the position we are, like expecting that someone else's responsibility to save us or to do for us, you know, and we don't even know. It's only been at that point, it only been a couple hours, minutes after the decision was made, he was being attacked and criticized and that's what I wanted to speak on today. Y'all, sometimes we have to learn to just give it time. We're so quick to speak and quick to say something, quick to have an opinion, quick to make a post, quick to do things, and we don't give things time. We don't know what his plans are with this $5 million a year that he's already said he doesn't need. So if he doesn't have a need for it, but he might be building something, he might still want to invest in HBCUs. But look at the attack and the slander in less than 24 hours that began to appear on his name. From who? The black community. The ones who are in the back, the ones who are in the back of the line, the ones who have nothing and ain't on a path to have nothing. And yeah, some people are not even emotionally capable of handling these words that I'm saying. And this is not being mean to my own people, but it's like we lack so much understanding of what the realities of this world are. You know, HBCUs are great, right? The idea of an HBCU is great for our people to have our own university, but if y'all really, really know the inside, man, most of these universities have been privatized and are funded not by our people, but by another group of people who dictate the movement of the school or the university. You know, that's the truth of the matter, but a lot of us are so stuck on the surface of the fact that it's an HBCU that we feel that means it's FUBU. For us, by us, and that's not always the case. If you paid attention, Dion pointed out a couple times that, you know, and my sister mentioned this, the EYL podcast interview that he did, you know, and him highlighting that, hey, the football program may be bringing in X amount of dollars, but they only receive this much because this much is going to the university, this much is going to that, this much is going to that. So after that, and then they're saying, you know, this game was sold out, 60,000 people, but it was only, you know, the camera showing empty seats, 23,000, you know, and it's like, well, you know, where if it was 60K, where'd the money go? If it was 60,000 people here times X amount of ticket sales, where'd the money go? Or is the truth that it wasn't sold out? You know, but all that to say, within all of these universities, whether it's a HBCU or not, there's oftentimes some levels of corruption and mishandling of funds, and it's more noticeable, or it affects us more in the HBCUs because we don't have much funding in the first place. We don't have much support in the first place. There is nothing about Deion Sanders' decision that affects your ability to support your HBCU. You know, like, you know, I became a Jackson State fan because Coach Prime was there, right? And I'm not going to stop being a Jackson State fan now because he's gone. I'm still going to have love for Jackson State. And, you know, if there's any way that I can help Jackson State, I'd be more than happy to, because I want to continue that support, even in his absence, because I've developed a love for Jackson State. You know, I have a love for Winston-Salem State. That's where I grew up, you know. But I also have a love for Wake Forest, you know. And I'm not saying it's like, it's a thing where I would feel like I want to donate money to Wake Forest. I feel like they have plenty, but, you know, I can still appreciate the other schools that's not the HBCU. I mean, going to this school is a greater opportunity. Why do y'all want him to stop and grow? If y'all had a job offer that offered y'all, for most of y'all that's working jobs, y'all had a job offer that offered y'all more money and a greater opportunity, you mean you would turn it down because it's not black owned? Y'all, we lost out here and we backwards. You know, if anything, man, we got to understand the fact that if we don't have it, if we don't currently own it, sometimes we're going to have to go inside. Sometimes we're going to have to infiltrate, you know. Sometimes we got to be in the other in order to gain access, and then we can bring things back to our community. You know, I don't see how you that upset with Coach Prime and not upset with all your famous athletes who currently play, who have access and wealth. Why we're not upset with them for not donating funds to HBCUs? Prime did more in 3 years. Coach Prime did more in 3 years than some of these athletes have ever done. Current athletes, big names. Why are we not upset with that? But we didn't even give him time to see what his plan is in being there. We don't know what he's about to do. Everybody's so hype about, oh, all that cap, I thought you was for HBCUs. Okay, just because he took a better job doesn't mean he's not still for HBCUs. When did he say I'm not for HBCUs? Why are we so emotional? Why are we so bothered? And we don't even know. What is your personal plan? Why do you feel like it's Deion's job to save you or make you feel good about HBCUs? If anything, the fact that y'all just now getting back hype on HBCUs highlights the fact that where y'all been the past 20 years concerning supporting your HBCUs, other than homecoming. It's sad, man. But we're so impatient. We live in such a fast food society that we don't believe in giving things time. Some things take time, and you gotta give it time. If you want to see results, if you really want to have something, if you really want to go somewhere and be sometimes you gotta give it time. Don't try to rush and microwave everything in life. Some things take time. Sometimes before we speak, before we give an opinion, sometimes we need to give things time and just see. Just see. What if his whole intent with the 5 mil is, man, I've been able to live off $150K. Man, I could donate $2 million to Jackson State out of this salary. How do y'all know that's not his plan? And see, y'all so quick to speak. Y'all will be the people, if this is indeed his plan, y'all will be the ones that'll come out when he do it and say, oh, he just doing that because we says. You don't know because you didn't even give him time. That's been on my mind all weekend after reading those comments, man. I was just so bothered because I'm like, y'all, this is why we don't have nothing. And this is why when certain people do make it outside, they don't want to come back because y'all don't really love them. You can't even really be proud of him growing. It's a better opportunity. I don't care how you put it, HBCU, whatever. It's a greater opportunity. And it creates opportunity for the next young black coach or black coach to move up and be a coach at that HBCU. And now their attention is there. Their Instagram, they got, man, they Instagram almost 2-3 times more than what Colorado's Instagram is, you know? So now you have a following, now you have a YouTube, now you have people that are tuned in to Jackson State. Where your other athletes at? Where your other black athletes at? Let's get this popping on in more than just the football. You know, y'all ain't yell and fuss at Penny Hardaway. And I ain't trying to drag you in this, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got love for Penny, man. I love what he doing at Memphis. But y'all, we missing it, y'all. We too emotional, and we're mad at Deion. Like Deion was supposed to single-handedly save HBCUs. Deion could never single-handedly save HBCUs, y'all. I don't care if he stayed there 10 years. You know what's gonna save HBCUs? You. Your support. And instead of directing all your energy and anger at Deion, get your family and your friends and your loved ones to get back to your HBCU and give back when y'all make it in the world. Doctors and lawyers and all these things, come bring some of that bread back. Or if you're wise, if you really learn how this system works, you learn to work the system, infiltrate the system, get in, get the bag, bring it back to your people and bless your people. But all them ones who had some negative say, well, it's crazy, Deion probably feed them too. All y'all that was mad at him and talking bad on his name, he probably feeds y'all too, man, because that's just, you know, the type of person he is. And for y'all to call him coon and all kind of stuff for accepting this opportunity, man, y'all foolish because y'all didn't even give it time. Man, the spotlight has been shined on HBCUs. The alley-oop has been given to HBCUs. What are y'all gonna do with it? Why y'all felt like it's Deion's job to save it? Y'all ain't said nothing to Magic Johnson. Y'all ain't said nothing to Shaquille O'Neal. Eddie George doing his thing over at Tennessee State, you know. But I mean, where are your other players at? Where are your other retired athletes at? Where your Jerome Bettis at? I'm bringing up old folks. I'm people that was in his era. Where they at? Where your Michael Irvins at? Your Randy Mosses. They can't do the same? You don't feel they can bring some attention to some programs? Even if they're not coaching, they can come and bring their resources. And I'm not saying these guys aren't doing that already, but I'm just saying y'all so quick to judge. Like, you got too much time on your hands. What are you doing? What contributions are you making? Not just even to HBCUs. What contributions are you making to your community? Make those contributions. Quit worrying about the next man. Ain't nobody coming to save you but you. So you need to be focused on what you're doing to build and provide for your family. If y'all got so much to say about this other man, what are you doing? You done spoke so fast. You gotta give it time. Peace and love.
Soundtrack to the love we make. Let your love flow and shower us. Let your love